Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smith of the Black channel here at Ticker Talker, and yep, it's happening. Just what we thought would happen. Inside week for the SPY. So here, how are we going to get out of here? Right. So you see, good thing for the SPY would be that you're closer to taking out the high, right? But right now you can see dropping back in, real snoozer out there. So you want to be careful on a day like today. So you did get this up here. You go up, two down reversal on the 60. Now you got a new 60. But these things tend to get worse. We're lucky that we got what we did in this movement in here. This was bad. But then you got that move down, then gap in reverse, and then the 2-2 reversal, and now you can see how it just goes slightly into those highs and then exhausts, and that was it. Not going to be strong enough to take that out. So for next week, depending on what happens for the rest of the day, we're going to want to know about SPY over 418.20 or below 405.33. And the thing about that is we got a new month, right? So we could easily go inside week. Let's hope that does not happen, but we could. And then you'd want to see what the month is doing. So the month, you can see this still slightly red on the month in SPY, but not doing much. If you go to QQQ, Q's inside on the week. All right. So we did try and go 2 months down, couldn't get it to fall apart, and now you can see just like a lot of things today, a slight pop up, and then slow, gradual giving it up. So yeah, if you didn't have to do anything here, because I'm going to show you here in a second, because we like to use them scans. Diamond's a little bit better here. You can see that, but not by much. But the thing about the diamonds is they took out the lows of last week, which is a 3, an outside bar. Let me blow that up for you, make sure you can see that. An outside bar. So here, potentially, if they paid up over the high and sold down, and then they sold down, they might do it again. So I'd keep an eye on this. If you can get that diamonds next week to take this out, 345.12. All right, the small caps inside week and tried to go inside month and down, didn't fall apart. These 2 months are still in here, right? It's still inside of this month. So things are still continuing to dry up. You want to be real careful on what you're trading, because the condition tends to get worse, right? And so we want to find things that are moving around. So one of the things that I like to do is show the scans. And so what you're going to see here is over the weekend you're going to see massive inside weeks. Apple, GE, Riot, Boeing, AMAT, Microsoft, DraftKings, all this stuff. All this has to resolve. So the question is, do we get a simultaneous break where they all break in the same direction? Or do some go up, some go down? Do a lot of them stay inside for the new month? That's what we're going to want to know about. And as I've been saying all week, because we knew this inside week was coming, was that when you're running your scans, you want to make sure that you're not an inside week, right? So you go like the volume, and yeah, last week's highs. And last week's highs, so you got your Ford and ANVS thing blasting here. Our BLX, I'll get to these guys in a second, but you can see those things standing out. And then if you go to the downside, taking out last week's lows, here you got a little VFC Corp. You've got some Coinbase. I'll get to that right down that coin, because you got Bitcoin getting slammed by the Chinese, going to regulate that kind of stuff, or whatever they're going to do to them. So there's that. So then what you can do when things really dry up like they do today, you can switch this. Say, okay, how about let's just make sure we're taking out daily highs and lows to make sure you've got at least got some sort of 2 going for you, right? Okay, so if we go to the dailies, okay, these are guys taking out yesterday's lows. There's your Riot blockchain. And SQ, let's see what's going on there. SQ, let's see, I'll write that down. And then the other things we want to look for is things that are potentially going 3. So if we take a look at some of the stuff that we were just looking at here, see, okay, it goes upside. Well, ANVS, your winner of the day. This thing just screaming. Now you're going to get your inside 60 potentially here. We'll see. If you go to the 15, So this inside 15 or there, and here's one of the things you look for. The 2 up, the 2 down, boom, right here. And that was above 57.82, and this thing's trading in the 90s. So there's some nice movement around in here. I'd keep an eye on this thing for sure. And then you have this shenanigan or JZXN. And look at this. You get your inside 15, and then boom, 2-2 reversal and take it all the way back down. Real nice action on there for what we like to call country and western. And even if you held off for the 30 and said, okay, I'll just take that 30 on the short. If you go SEDG, and SEDG, once again, 2 down, 2 up, right, on the week. You're 2 your way on the daily, and it's setting up. There's a lot of things setting this up, right, depending on what's going on. But you've got this inside month and then down, potentially Rev Strat month to the upside. But we got another week to go, so we'll see how that goes. You had crude coming up here just a bit. Crude taking out yesterday's highs, not really blasting here, and doesn't really get those energies going. I don't think XLE just kind of sitting there like a lot of things do and nothing. If you go to WAFU, and now that's coming off here again too, so we'll see if that sets up again. A lot of things just going up and then coming back and doing nothing, so we'll see. If we go to BXP, and BXP not doing too much, but you are above last week's highs month, and then you're in slight inside day to the upside, just losing a little steam here, so like a lot of things, so we'll see what's going on here in Peloton. Peloton go to the highs. And Peloton taking out the highs and inside week to the upside for the rest of the day and setting up the big hammer monther. So Peloton coming back up, and keep an eye on that. Exhaustion risk, but Target goes blasting into the highs again. And that's what we're talking about, how they really got them good here down in here when the earnings came out. All right, this big long red bar, and then boom. And ever since then, there's guys trying to get out of this thing, and so that's why if you can catch something like that, you don't stop out. Just let her keep ripping for you. If we go to RBLX, RBLX here we call that a Momo hammer because it's a 2 up. Then they tried to hit it, and then boom, stick it to them. Takes out last week's highs and makes the month, and then kind of stalls out. And that's where, when you have stuff like this, when it goes into the highs, you want it to stay up there. Otherwise, it can back and fill like this. Now you can see if it wants to go with 222 back up over 83.66, or goes inside on the 60 for the new hour. A little bit of financials earlier. Citicorp to a certain extent, still inside month to the upside, taking out last week's highs. And Goldman Sachs, how you doing? Goldman Sachs looks like an inside weaker. It does have that inside month to the upside. We'll see. If we go to Path, and Path just taking out last week's highs, grinding higher in here, taking out yesterday's highs. So once again, made it to exhaustion, outside monther now, and then it just kind of stalls out a little bit. We'll see. Market really starting to dry up here, folks. So be careful. ENPH. ENPH, just a doji on the day, but started to try and take this 60 upper because we know about this week to 2-2 reversal week. Now green on the month, right, and setting up the Rev Strat monther, so we'll keep an eye on that ENPH. If you go to Triple D, and Triple D right now trying to poke down here 222. So for the next hour, 27.16 has my attention because this thing's trying to go outside on the month here, right, and taking out last week's highs, just coming up here a little bit. So we can keep an eye on Triple D. On the downside, a couple other things you want to look for besides just taking out the lows, things potentially going outside and having a 3-day. And so here, so potentially Ulta goes outside day, right? Because it pokes up, then coming back to the previous range. We'll see if you can get an inside 60. Maybe. You got the Qs trying to firm up here just a little bit. But, like I said, there's a lot of snoozing out there, so be careful. We've got Amazon. And Amazon taking out yesterday's lows, boom, for the 2-2 reversal. And so we'll see if that can be take these guys out here down into here. If we can lose this a little bit more, low 31.84, that would be nice. And the monthly, just look at this. Amazon been doing nothing forever. Look at this. Okay, if we go to let's see, VFC. And VFC having some issues now going inside on the 60. We'll see if they want to hit that any further. Because you can notice this, it took out last month's lows. That's good. The question is, can it keep going? I'm going to take some more of this stuff out, but right now just stalling out is inside 60. If we go to Apple, and Apple, inside week coming, just potential outside day. You took out one side and you're bright red coming back through if we can get them to hit these things in the afternoon. If we go to Google, and Google also trying to come back through and become an outside day on the daily. Inside week, inside month for the gigs. So there's that. If we go to ACN, ACN also potential outside day here. And the good thing is when you get that 60 red, you got full time frame continuity to the downside. All 4 time frames are red. Right? So we'll see if ACN try and bring that in. Go to RH. And RH hits its magnitude, so here on the daily it just does this. 2 down by taking out the low, 2 up, 2 down. These two become an outside bar of that. Question is, does it get worse, or does it stay inside month, or come down and try and take that out? So we'll see. If we go to TJ Maxx, we got some retail. TJ Maxx. Why is this not taking? Let's see something here. Oops, sorry, looks like I uncoupled it. There we go. TJ Maxx, there we go. So TJ Maxx watching this inside day here to see if we can take this out and stay down there below 66.87. And if you can, you might get yourself an outside month. You're nice and blood red on the week. We'll see. If we go to Ali. Ali here, you can see that 2 up, 2 down month and going towards the lows. This is a really beautiful reversal here. The 2 up, the 2 down, and down she goes back through the previous range. Now I just got some exhaustion risk by going into the lows, but so far having some issues is Ali. If we go to play, and play, once again, that was an inside day, but it poked up, and so this is what I'm talking about, how we're looking for outside days. Once this went red, we're looking to take out the other side of the range because we know those bars exist, right? It did it, and now it's working on that inside month to the downside play. If we go to Baba, and Baba got him good yesterday. There you go, and then boom, 2-2 reversal day coming back down. Still going to be an inside weaker. Right, but still red on the month and having some issues with Baba. If we go to SQ, what's going on here, boy? SQ already makes it to the outside day. And if we go to Coinbase, how you looking there, buddy? And Coinbase, there you go. There's 2 down on the month. This thing's been suffering for a while, so we'll see if anything more comes of that. If we go to Lulu, potential outside day. All right, gap up and come all the way back through. Why not? Lulu is going to be an inside weaker though, so just be aware of that. If we go to VNET, and VNET just having a rough couple of days here and just skirting towards the lows. Exhaustion risk by going into the recent lows, but nice blood red, so something to keep an eye on. So, yeah, we got inside weeks. We were expecting that. We got it, and unfortunately, that means lack of volatility, so hopefully that will change and expand. So next week, we'll be watching to see which side of all these inside weeks get taken out. As of right now, closer to taking out the highs, but that's why we open them up and let them play the game. All right, hope everybody had a great week, has an even better weekend. I'm Rups with the Smith Select channel here at Ticker Taco Strat Time Report.